to sit there and freaking say what you want. You know, it's not malicious intent. It never, you know what I'm saying? Um,
Yeah.
and they just can't walk up to you and be like, oh, you know what? Fuck you and your freedom of speech. You just do what I say because I've got a badge. Blah 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 blah.
Well,
Like,
he
there's
called
no
he called me, so it was over the phone. I was talking to him. I told him that I didn't have much time to talk because I was like, I'm just about to go clock in, so we made it quick
right,
because, and I had half the back of my mind wanting to share those texts that I got from my brother that I sent with you to you about what
right.
he said about all of us, and of course, I had to like leave that out because I was in a hurry, like I had no time. So what I'm gonna do is if they want to call the police even over this, if they decide to listen to this later, I'm gonna then next time be like, if I'm home, I'm gonna show the police officer, be like, well, this is what was sent to me a few days ago. Does the law find that it's suitable for a minor? So I'm going to tell them that for the parents of the minor to condone a minor to say these horrific things to people,
Right.
because that's considered harassment and sexual harassment and potentially life threatening.
Well, and here's the thing: is like they're gonna, and I'm saying like with just the text messages, they're just gonna be like, well, that's that could be anybody's number. You could do this and this and this. Well, that's when you go ahead and go onto my page where we've got them in the flesh saying the stupid ass shit that they be saying, and utilize my page and stuff like that, and have everything
Well,
there.
see, here's the thing, though, that they can't lie their way out, nor can the police deny that it's not my brother's phone number, because in my phone, he is listed by his name. And I know it's his number. They will know it's his number. And especially because it can be traced easily to that home address that they live in.
Well, right, yeah. But if they see them in the flesh, instead of like having to go, because cops be lazy as hell. Instead of having to like trace back a number or whatever the case may be, you can. I'm just telling you that you can definitely just show that my page. So don't ever feel like you have to ask.
No, that's just a clear sign. You see, one of many experiences like that I've had with my family, where when things got out of control and they didn't like how things were going. With them, it's always been about this need for control. And when they don't like something happening the way it's happening, well, they figure they're going to shut me or someone up by calling the police, thinking that's going to get them their way. And honestly, I'm not giving into their bullshit on this, because they would always try to see if they could get me into, interact back with them with texts or calls. And I used to, because thinking that maybe if I just gave them a piece of my mind, that would actually work and make them stop. But no. And I learned when a police officer years ago told me, when this was going on before with a different issue, that he says, well, save your calls, save your text messages you get, don't respond. And then the next time this goes on, we'll work something out and investigate. And I'm like, really? Okay. So I tried that one time. That, of course, temporarily had not worked sufficiently enough. But I now know with this, with my brother and what he sent me involving us, this time around, they cannot refuse to doing something about it, because no minor should be allowed by law to get away with saying those type of inappropriate things. And then the parents, his parents, they're going to be held responsible regardless.
It's hard to share. Hold on. Keep talking. I logged into the camera up at the hospital, so I'm trying to like. But yeah, it's literally stupid. Hold on, that they literally. Oh my god, bro. That they can get away with it, and I think that what a lot of people are saying is like, oh my goodness, that Becky and David literally think that they can do whatever the hell they want and get away with it, and therefore that's why they keep on doing the things that they do. I feel like it's dark in there because it's night time.
But no, like, if they want to push me, they have no idea that I could use these text messages that I have of my brother, of saying the things he said to me about us three, referring
Right.
to you, me, and Elvina. And, I can be like, look, here's this. How do you guys feel about that? How do you want to handle that? Because this is considered not only harassment or sexual harassment towards three individuals, and regardless of one being related to the household over there, but I could just say, that this would be considered like a form of a child abuse and neglect, because the parents are not doing their job.
Yep. I mean, Yep, I mean, you're honestly correct.
I could easily tear their whole world apart. And then let's see how far they want to push me on that note with calling the cops, because I'm speaking my mind. I'm telling the facts as it is, and they just don't like it, and they think that they're going to use this tactic to try to shut me up. No, fuck them.
Right. Yep, and that's exactly what they're doing, because she's even said before on the live that they were going to fix it to the point where you didn't become friends with me, because she has also said that that she has proof that you and I have talked every single day, and whatever, and that's I'm using you to feed information to, or get information from, and I'm like, I have not talked to you every single day, by any means, and I'm not ever. That's another thing is I'm not feeding for information. Like the first time you called me, or you guys got a hold of me, you got a hold of me. I didn't go looking for you guys. You came to me the very first time, you know. And and then obviously we've had a couple phone calls, and stuff like that in between, but it wasn't me going, oh yeah, by the way, Jonathan, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I may have asked like once or twice about like stupid random tidbit facts of information I wasn't sure about, but I wasn't berating you for like 3.5 hours and be like, well, you got to tell me everything about this, and this. Like, no. And anytime I got deeper into stuff, that's exactly why I come here, for the simple fact that people can then not say that I went behind. But she just, tells it that you and I are talking every single day, and the only reason I talk to you is because I'm trying to get information. And I was like, well, shit, I guess, I mean, hey, whatever you want to fucking say, I guess, at this point,
Yeah, and it's like, I think that honestly, with the fact that before I clocked in, one being I couldn't mention about the text message and what was said to the officer when I was on the phone with him, my owner of the Culvers was presently outside on his phone, and I was nearby, and I didn't want him to hear anything personally going on, so I left that out while having to get ready to clock in. And it's just funny how my dad planned it on a day that I think he somehow must have knew that I'd be going to work or having to be at work in the early morning. Because if it was such a damn problem about something he heard over our last previous interview from yesterday, then why not call the cops on me during yesterday? Because, I mean, if it was that big of an ordeal, then it should have been handled on the day that he had a problem.
Right. There we go. She's slumped.
Oh, wow. Cute little thing.
Yeah, she's so tiny. She is just slumped, guys. She's not even moving. She's just like, yep, I'm cool, I'm chill. She got to hang out and do skin on skin with mommy and just fucking living her best life.
I mean, it's a shit show that I've came to realize that it's best to just ignore them. But it's like after all of this, now you just can't ignore them, because even if you try to ignore them, they keep on going.
Yeah, and I mean, she actually is low-key lucky that I was unavailable to go out and do activities today. We'll just say that, because that was my plan today, but obviously a baby had another mind, and my family comes first before that freaking cult over there. Oh, she will. She will be forced to stop. She will. I would literally, she'll be forced to stop, because it's going to be different this time on my end, because the Mitchell cups and stuff may not. Oh, hi, Becky. She's in here now, right, Jonathan? Say hi to Becky.
Hello, Beck. How about you tell my dad stop being a little coward, and next time he has a problem, that he just goes ahead and does it on the day when he has a problem, instead of waiting until I get to work. Because I am not going to be putting up with this crap no more. You're at fault. He's at fault. Own up to it.
Yep. Amen. Well, look, Baconators. We still talk.
Yeah, Dad, you can't shut me up.
Definitely can't shut me up. I got a big mouth too, so.
Freedom of speech, American Constitution, better understand that. Oh, wait, being you guys claim to be proud Americans, I guess you forgot that is part of our American society.
Yep, and then they'll sit there and be like, but the cops can't do nothing to me. I can say what I want because it works for them, but not anybody else. But that's about to come to an end, so that's cool. Do you want to take a box, Becky? No?
No,
Becky.
she's a coward. That's why.
Unless David's drunk, then he might.
Yeah, tell my drunk ass dad to get on here too. Let's make a damn show out of this.
Yep.
I'm fucking enraged.
Not Biscuit trying to get me to go invite for the live. Thanks a lot, Biscuit. Oh yeah, and they've got a lot of people have got your back, so you don't worry about that. Like absolutely. She's still in here too. Let's go, Becky. Get up here, Beckonators. Let's go. Or are you just gonna go live after and talk shit like you normally do?
Oh yeah, she probably do that too. And if not that, then of course, because they don't like probably hearing this right now, then I'm sure her and my dad will call the cops and be like, oh, Jonathan's doing this again and he's causing problems. I need you to go there and do something about it.
Yeah, and freedom of speech, you can't do it.
Yeah.
Can't do it. It's freedom of speech, and you're not saying anything that's malicious nor slandering of anything. So you're speaking of your own, everything experience and life story. So therefore they can't do anything. And even if they wanted to, the cop could not tell you to shut up because they can't tell you to get off the platform unless they have been given a cease and desist order. And I'm assuming you have not seen one of those.
No, because all he said to me though is that I am to just try not to say certain things and not post certain stuff. And all I told him was just to make it short. I said, well, I understand. That's all I said to him was I understand because I'm not going to just simply agree to complying to demands from my family and abusing the law and its police department and its system just to get their way. And the officer had to have been aware that this was a form of abuse of using the proper emergency services that could have been used for actual emergencies because this was not even an emergency. This was just using the law to harass someone that they're related to. And honestly, at this point, I disown my family for this.
Honestly, you know what though? Actually, you know what? Now that you just said that, I'm glad you said that because that's harassment on your behalf, and they're causing an issue for you at your job by sending police police phone calls that aren't necessary. They're making you look bad. It's malicious intent. Oh shoot! They didn't think about that, did they? That's too bad because I just did. So remember that.
Like I said, I made sure my job wouldn't know, and I only told those maybe about my morning at work, those I could trust because I know a few that I get along with that are cool about stuff, and so they understood and they thought that my family's pretty messed up because of that. I mean, they can't even fathom that, being that they have certain families of their own that would not do that to them. But they're now seeing that there are people like my family out there that does this kind of crap, whether they're related to someone or not.
Right. But I know I'm saying them just literally falsifying a police call in regards to no real, charges or whatever, and making your situation where you could have potentially gotten in trouble. I mean, thank goodness your boss is cool, and they understand, blah, 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 blah. That if you get too many phone calls from the police department, obviously some bosses are like, well, and they think that you're gonna not be a good employee. And, so therefore that phone call was unnecessary and malicious with intention because they called up to cause a scene and cause you a hiccup in your life to maybe lose your income and stuff like that and make you struggle. So that sounds
like I said, I managed to make sure that my store owner, the head boss over my boss, was not in earshot, even though he was close by. But I kept it to a minimum because he was also on the phone too. But I knew he could hear me with one ear. So he didn't say nothing to me or approach me about whatever I was saying or doing because I don't think he was that focused. But I mean,
it don't matter.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna take a chance and just be like in a certain range to where he could like tune in on.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is document. Remember to write down the day, and if the officer's number or the badge number and everything like that, you need to document that they called you today while you were at work because basically, even though nobody heard you at that time, who's going to say nobody's going to hear you the next time? And then you're showing you know, a pattern, a paper trail of how many times they're harassing you at your job to make you lose your income, aka malicious intent.
Well, I do have the voicemail that was sent to me before I called the officer back, and it was at 10:48 a.m., just a few minutes before I would go clock in, and he said, "Hey, Jonathan, this is Officer Coffin at the Metro Police Department. If you can give me a call back at the Metro Police Department with the number he provided, of course." And then he corrected himself and then said Kaufman and then thank you. But Kaufman, I mean, that is a tricky name, but I don't care at this point. Bottom line is I know that's the officer, and I have the timestamp on my recorded voicemail and recent calls. And so, yeah, I mean, that's just not hard really to get that dealt with. If I ever had to tell another officer, hey, I dealt with this officer about regarding this. I mean, because if it comes down to that, now I have something that they're not going to be prepared for. And whether they're aware of it or not, my family's going to realize that you don't do this shit and think that something not going to come back to bite you in the ass.
Right. I'm actually surprised she's still sitting in the viewers and just like sitting there like the little bitch that she is. Can you like literally either say something or box up, because you think you're grabbing information and that you're gonna come back on live and be like, and Jaima and Jonathan, like you do. You say my name 863 million times a day because it tastes good in your mouth. But you know, I mean, can you say anything like? Can you go grab your C and say?
Oh, and here's another thing, Beck. Since you're still there, probably, but I mean, I guess Jaima can see you, but I can't. But here's what I'm gonna tell you, Beck, is why don't you go ahead and be stupid right now, or my dad, because I'm now fired up. I am extremely fired up. All right, why don't you go ahead and see how far you want to push some shit right now? I don't care what time of damn day and night this is right now, because shit's gonna be flying hard on your ass, and you can act like you're not scared at all, but I'll tell you what, you're gonna be scared when some shit comes down flying on all of you.
Yep. I mean, she's just sitting in my. I can see her because she's in my viewer list. Yeah, she's still sitting there. She's probably thinking, she's like, oh, I bet you she goes live after this, and then she runs her mouth because she can't do it here like a real woman. Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you know, and another thing is like, Beck, you better understand this too. That I have the train of thought, but I'm just so overheated right now. I think she's getting the picture though, because I'm just not dealing with this. I am not going to deal with this shit.
Yep. And she's going to be like, oh, well, Jaima paid her to put it up with this. By the way, I did not. He reached out to me once again, Becky, which I don't care. Regardless who reached out to who, I don't care. You can spin that however you want to. Because he has a right to sit there and speak. Oh, she left, of course. Her ACDC ESPN is healed. She ran. No, she didn't run. Now she's licking my window. But no,